Hi everyone. So I've had quite a few people asking me how I record the yoga videos. Um, there's obviously two aspects to recording the yoga video. You've got the picture and you've got the sound. Now to begin with, if you go and have a look at a couple of my first videos, I just wanted to get out there. So all I had was a webcam that I've been using for my Zoom classes, which is this one, the Logitech C920. I think that's the one. It's a very common one to use. It's actually brilliant. It gives you a really good picture. It gives you quite good sound considering that I'm quite a distance from the microphone. And it's perfect for Zoom classes. It's easy to set up. I'm all about things being as simple as possible, quick. We don't have much time in our lives. We just need an effective solution in as easy as possible way. Now, when it came to doing the videos um, for YouTube, I thought, well, we'll give it a go. We'll try the webcam. Let's see how they come out. That's the best advice I can give is just trial and error. Just go for it. Just do your recording. All right, maybe not do a whole hour class. Do maybe a few minutes. See what the sound is like. See what the picture's like. And I thought it's not bad. The picture was pretty good. The sound was a bit lacking. Now, the thing with sound is a lot is determined by the space you're in. Um, I don't want to get too technical because some of you probably don't even want to go down that technical route. You just want to get your videos up on YouTube and get going. So basically, you're going to have to try and do your recordings in your room, see how they come out. When you start to get issues, like if it sounds like the sound is weak, um, it could be because there's a lot of reflections going on in your room, which is basically where the sound from your voice is bouncing off the walls, um, and you're not getting this nice, clean, tight, clear recording, which is obviously what you're aiming for, because everyone, there's so much competition on YouTube, and there's a lot of people on there doing really high end production, piling a lot of money into getting this quality image and sound. But for me, I feel like as long as your picture is adequate, there's not obvious imperfections. As long as your sound is legible, um, it doesn't have to be this really high quality recording. Great, if you've got the budget, then brilliant, and the time, obviously, do as good as you can. But for me, I'm very DIY, but I do want a certain level of quality. Anyway, so I felt that the first couple of videos I did were fine. You're going to learn a lot from them. There's good content, but I felt like I could upgrade the sound. So I went down the Rode Wireless 2 Go mics, which are basically a clip-on mic, very well recommended, and I must admit I haven't explored using them enough yet to really judge them. It seems like everyone's having good results with them. But I was really keen to get my stuff out quickly. I didn't have too much time to experiment. And my first experience with the Rode 2 was because I'm moving around a lot. Um, you know, I didn't have the lav mic. I hadn't ordered the lav mic that you plug into the Rode Go. You don't need that because the box that you get, let me just grab it. That's the receiver. The bit with the mic in it, that normally you would use a lav mic, which is a little microphone, it attaches to your clothing, and it has a cable that goes to a transmitter that would attach to you, maybe near your backside or on your side in a pocket. Um, But the great thing with the Rode Wireless 2 Go is it's got a mic built into the transmitter and a clip, and it's small enough that you can attach this without a lav mic to your clothing. Um, up round your neck somewhere. Obviously, it needs to be in a decent distance between your mouth and the microphone to get a good signal. Um, the only thing that I found with this is, um, I think it was Ashley Hagen that got me onto this. So thanks, Ashley. Great YouTube channel. Really learning a lot from her. She was using this. Loads of yoga teachers have been using this. The only thing I found that as a guy, generally wearing a t-shirt with quite a high neck, is firstly the mic was a little bit too close to my neck. So when I did moves like lifting my arms up, the mic would push into my neck and I'd end up sounding like a robot because it was obviously recording the sound of the microphone through my neck, which isn't ideal. It sounded quite amusing, but not ideal for your videos. And also when I bent over, because my clothing wasn't tight enough, the mic might flip, and it was just all a bit awkward, really. And what I noticed is a lot of the ladies using it had tops that had a bit of a lower cut. They're much tighter, so you could get a good, you could get the mic fitting nice and firmly. It wasn't going to move around, and it was a decent distance away. And I'm just not going to wear a top like that. That's just me. That's my choice. Some of you guys that are doing it may want to wear a low cut top, a tight one. Go for it. It's just not what I want to wear. So then I thought, oh right, I'm gonna have to get the lav now. So I ordered the lav mic. So then, and I haven't really experimented with that properly yet. I think it's going to be a good solution. The only thing where I think it could come unstuck is when I'm on my front, because I guess the lav's going to be. I'll show you the lav. So the lav is a tiny little mic. I looked at loads of different lav mics. There's loads of options out there. All seem pretty good, but I just thought, I've got a Rode Wireless 2 Go. I'm guessing the Rode, you would hope the lav mic's going to be optimized to use with their product. I'm sure it is. It's got great reviews. And you would just clip this on somewhere around here. Again, it's going to take experimenting, getting the right distance related to the volume of your voice. And then that will attach into the box with the mic on it, the transmitter. You would then attach that somewhere down near your pocket or on the back of your trousers. And obviously you'd want to feed the wire through your clothing so it's not hanging around when you're moving around. Okay, but like I say, I haven't experimented properly with this. I will be doing that soon, so I'll probably do a video on that later. But in the meantime, I thought, and I was waiting for this to come through on Amazon, I thought, right, I need to try other options because I want to get my videos out. I'm really keen to get them out. So I thought, right, I'm into recording anyway. I make lots of meditation music, lots of experimental stuff with sound and stuff. So I've tried lots of different microphones for that. I thought I would try my fairly expensive condenser mic. This is called a Pop Shield. This stops the p and b sounds. Stops you hearing those in your recording. It cuts that down. So I thought, right, I don't want people seeing this in my yoga videos, so I'm going to put this right behind my webcam and see if I can get the sound loud enough in my room, in the studio downstairs. But the only problem you've got there, this is getting into more technical recording, but if you've got your mic at quite a distance from you, you're going to be picking up a lot of the sound of your room. So if your room is very reverberant, lots of reflections, the sounds bouncing off the wall, like if you've got lots of windows or glass or bare walls, bare floors, which I have, you're going to again pick up the sound the same as with the webcam that's quite a distance from you. You're going to be getting a lot of the room sound. If you've got a nice tight sound in your room, if you've got lots of soft furnishings, maybe a sofa, maybe plants dotted around the room, um, blinds, curtains, then that will soak up the sound and hopefully help get you a better sound. Um, I haven't got that. Mine's a bit of a mixture. There's a sofa in there, but we've just sanded the floor because we wanted to create a nice yoga studio. I don't want to put loads of rugs down because the I like the look of the floor. It just looks nice. It's enjoyable to practice in. Um, so anyway, tried the condenser mic. It wasn't actually much better than the webcam, and this is a really good mic. I mean, it's not massively expensive depending on your budget. It's a great mic if you're in a nice room, but it just didn't really work for me for the yoga videos. So the only other option I had was my field recorder, and this is the Zoom H4n Pro. It's, I would say, about mid-range budget wise. In the Zoom recorders, there's loads of different ones. Not the most expensive, not the cheapest one. um, I bought this initially so that I could do my field recordings, which I love doing, and you'll hear a few on my channel. You know, if I'm off on a nice walk out in the countryside, and I see a river and I want to get the sound of the river and then maybe bring it home and put that in my meditation music, or sounds of birds, nature, or if I'm doing more experimental stuff in the city, sounds of the traffic. I'm mad about sound. um, so yeah, I had this anyway, and I thought, right, this could be a good option. Now the great thing with this is I can have it on a little tripod. I've got one of the Gorilla ones that you can bend into shape. Um, this luckily has got a mount fixing for the tripod to go into, so I just screw that on, put the tripod on the floor much closer to me than the condenser mic and the webcam, and I have got a rug on the floor, so that's going to help. It's not in view of my videos, but it's in front and it's close enough for me to put this on the rug, on the tripod, at a good angle. So if I'm stood up teaching, I want this at an angle. You know, it's all about getting the right angle, directing it at your mouth, so you get the best signal. You know, I'm doing a bit of moving around, so I wasn't quite sure if it would pick it up. You don't want some bits loud and then some bits really quiet. You want a nice even signal for your sound. Again, we're not talking high-end, expensive recording studio production, but it was definitely an upgrade on the level of the webcam and the condenser mic. That's not saying if you're lucky enough to be in a really nice room that hasn't got loads of reflections, you might find the webcam is fine. You're getting a good sound. Same thing with the condenser mic. I think these might even be condenser mics in this. You'd have to check the specs on the website. Great thing with this is it's stereo as well, so you get a nice stereo image. Really easy to use. You literally just hit record once, make sure your signal's nice and loud without clipping. If you clip the signal, basically have it too loud, you're going to get lots of distortion and it's not going to sound good. So you're going to have to experiment. You want to get the highest level in without it clipping. Again, I don't want to discuss too much of the technical stuff because that could be another video. It's quite in-depth recording. But I'm pretty safe to say if you got one of these or a similar one, the Tascam do some really good ones as well. Um, Generally with equipment, not always, but generally you want to spend as much as you can afford. Um, Quality wise, not always, but generally, if you go for a good brand, pay a little bit more, you would hope you're going to get a bit better quality. You don't want to buy something and it's just rubbish. I know it sounds obvious, but Zoom, well recommended. Tascam, well recommended. Sure, there's other brands out there that do really good ones, but they're the two main brands I would say that would be good to look at. If you want to make sure your signal doesn't clip, there's also a setting in here that puts a thing called a limiter on the channel, and that will put basically it just stops the volume going into the clipping range. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that then. So if you go down this route with, say, the Zoom field recorder or any option that's going to record your sound separately to the video, like when you do it on the webcam, the sound is being imprinted on the video, which if it sounds good is fine, but if it doesn't, there's not as much you can do with the sound after in editing software. Like I said before, if you've got high volume in some parts, low in others, there's not much you can do about it. But if you do record your sound separately, it takes a bit more effort, a bit more time. But if there's any little imperfections, if you want to maybe master the sound, which again is another whole huge field, but basically just make it sound better. You can learn how to do that in some. I basically get the sound from this, and then so that when people play the videos, they don't have to push their volume up to hear it. This is a very crude way to tell you what mastering is. That's one aspect of mastering, is to make sure that it sounds nice and loud, a nice even sound when people play it back on different devices. But I don't know everything about that, but I've learnt a bit. So basically, I thought my volume wasn't quite loud enough. It can put people off if people are inherently lazy. If they've got to do this extra thing, like put the volume up a bit louder, they might just presume, oh well, this isn't as good quality as this other one. So unfortunately it's all a bit competitive out there. I wanted to get my volume as good as everyone else's as much as I could. So I took my sound out of the Zoom. You have to make sure that you do a big clap sound when you start recording your video and your sound. So you turn your video on, you turn your Zoom on if that's what you're using, and then you get in position and then you do a big clap sound. And that clap is going to show up in your waveform if you're recording your sound separately. And that's going to be used to help synchronize. If this is your waveform on your sound and this is the waveform on your video, you want to be able to synchronize those waveforms. Otherwise, you're going to look like one of those dodgy videos where the speech is out of sync with the video. Okay, so again, there's loads of videos out there that will show you how to edit after, or maybe I'll do one. That's another whole thing. But I just do it really simply. I just use iMovie for my video. So I'll put once I've finished doing the recording, I will import my video into iMovie, and then I'll take the smart card out of here and I'll put that into my computer, and I'll import the sound also into iMovie. If I'm not happy with the sound, as long as it's clean, but I'm not happy with the volume, I might put that sound into another editing software. I use Ableton Live. And then I can do that thing that I said, it's like mastering the sound, just making it sound a bit louder. If there's any rumbles, you can use an equalizer to take those out. But you can just get the sound sounding really good. And then I would put it into iMovie. Took me quite a while to work out how to synchronize it accurately. So that's another video. It's all videos. It's all on YouTube. It's just knowing what to search for and being bothered to, study it. And then, yeah, and so then I've ended up with decent quality video from the webcam. There's better options if you want to spend out on a DSLR camera. Pick a number, spend whatever you can. If you want these really crisp, incredible videos, like the image, then you can spend as much as you want to make that happen. You can obviously use your phone. Get really good video with phones now. When I do experiment with the Rode, I will try and record it and the video at the same time and see if the volume's good enough that way. These give you the option of doing that. You can plug these straight into your phone or your iPad or your laptop. So I will experiment with these more. I've got a good feeling about these. I think they're going to be great. But in the meantime, I'm going to stick with the trusty Zoom. Yeah, it's very versatile, easy to use. And I think I've probably covered enough for now. I hope it's helped you. Hope I've not confused you even more. If you've got any questions, I love all the recording side of it, so I'm always happy to help. And yeah, I do tuition on the subject of recording and recording music. So if you want a Zoom lesson, get in touch. Hope you're enjoying the yoga videos. Feel free to comment. I'd really appreciate it if you'd share the videos with people. I'm passionate about yoga and helping people. So yeah, if you help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Share the video, subscribe, like it, all the boring stuff, but that's what keeps everything ticking over. Alright guys, have fun, see you later.